Okay, this is a book. The cover of the book as advertised on the internet. You be the judge too. A collection of ethical cases and Jewish answers. You can pick this book up, order it online. It's Israeli bookshop, books, out there. You can also order this book at Torah Aura Productions. It's a book that Jewish parents and Jewish religious teachers of Jews who don't Jewish children who don't speak Hebrew. This is a primer for them. It's a primer. This is page 11 of the book. It's a primer for Jews to give jobs to other Jews. This is page 12 of the book. Jobs for Jews. And it indicates, let's see. The idea involving Jewishness as a choice of whom we may hire may seem strange today, but goes back to the deep notion taught in the Talmud. Don't know what those words are, but it's translated, all Jews are interconnected. In other words, Jews are like family to each other. The cord question here is, what is the best way of treating someone who's like family? It continues, Maimonides states, sage command that the poor, the orphans, household, it's best to use the service of Jews rather than from those of a strange seed. A strange seed, those are us, folks, not non-Jews. 97% of us in the United States are a strange seed from the Jews. Let's see, children of Abraham should benefit. Let's see, what does it say? The children of Abraham should receive benefit and some enjoyment from Jewish property. An increase in non-Jewish slaves generates sins. Jews having to work in households increases mitzvah. Don't know who Rambam is. Statement assumes the time in which everyone kept the ritual and ethical commandments, stopping in the afternoon for prayers together, or paying attention to the things that needed to be done to protect the dignity of others. Therefore, giving a Jewish person a job is a basic principle of Judaism and is preferable to giving a job to a non-Jew. Here we go. For a poor person, which we assume to be providing a job is the highest form of whatever that is, and it is preferable to giving someone a job rather than a donation. This guy, somebody known as Chach, Lithuanian specifically, says that each time a Jew employs another Jew, the employer fulfills the mitzvah of that. I go, Jews therefore believe there's no shame in honest labor, no matter what the nature. Although it is a socioeconomic fact that recent integration groups tend to fill these positions. As a chance presents itself, Jews should try to hire other Jews for these positions, if all factors are equal. There you go. Jewish affirmative action. Give a Jew a job. So what's your answer, folks? Should Jews give jobs to Jews instead of people who are not Jewish? So in other words, there you have a Jew who's the principal, a Jew who's the superintendent, a Jew who's the head of the New York City Department of Education, or any other school district. And let's see, you're a Jew, and you got another Jew and a non-Jew, and they come to you for a job, teaching. And there you have them. They both have teaching certificates. Well, according to the Jewish religion, folks, Jews are going to give jobs to their own. How does that make you feel as the 97% of us who are not Jewish? Think this should be allowed? And this kind of answers why there are so many Jews in our civil service and why there are so many Jewish appointments all over the place and why non-Jews are discriminated against. There he is, folks. David Ben-Gurion. There he is. Doesn't look like much, does he? Then again, people didn't think that Mussolini, Hitler, or Pol Pot were much either. How could somebody who looks like this get the powerful white nations of Europe to agree to take away the homeland of over 1 million Arabs in Palestine and give it to the Jews? Amazing what bribes, extortion, sexual favors, and blackmail will get you. And here at page 18 of the book, written by Ben-Gurion, let's see, May 1942, the Congress of American Zionists unanimously endorsed the proposals that he, Ben-Gurion, advocated under the title the Biltmore Program, named after the hotel where the Congress was held. The program contained this declaration: the new world order that will follow victory cannot be established on the foundations of peace, justice, and equity unless the problem of Jewish homelessness is finally solved. The conference demands that the gates of Palestine be opened and that the Jewish agency be vested with control of immigration into Palestine and with the necessary authority for upbuilding the country, including the development of and cultivation and unsettled areas, and that Palestine be established as Jewish Commonwealth integrated into the structure of the new democratic world. The author of these words is Rabbi Meir Kahane, member of the Israeli Knesset, founder of the political party JDL, Jewish Defense League, and he wrote a book, They Must Go. It's printed in 1981. So important was Kahane's writings that they were put in a reference book. The reference book came out in 89. And if you read excerpts of the book, they must leave the country for their own lands. He's talking about the Arabs, and that must be the Israeli policy. As part of that policy, life must be made very difficult for them. That is the way to encourage immigration and spare Israel tragedy. Imagine that. Arabs in Israel. It's a tragedy for them, for the Jewish people. This guy, Kahane, urged the adoption of the policy to clarify the character of the nation and the state and its citizens. Talks about the land and the state exist to serve the people. Whose people? Well, of course, the Jewish people. And only tyrants who oppose, people who oppose Jews are tyrants. He talks about that nations are a family, a tribe, a clan of people, common origin, history, heritage. The land has a function to serve the people. Who? The Jewish people. And Kahane goes on to say, so the right of non-Jews to live in Palestine, he calls it the land of Israel, isn't that nice, is to be decided upon the owners of the land, its citizens. So the Jews, of course. The Arabs are just resident strangers. Talks about the state of Israel belongs only for the Jewish nation and the membership of the Jewish nation. People who are Jews are entitled to automatic citizenship. As far as the Arabs, indicates they must pledge their loyalty to the Jewish state, which they accept as the land of Israel, as the homeland to the Jewish people, and recognize total Jewish sovereignty over it, as well as the absolute and exclusive right of the Jewish people to it. Those who do so are residents and non-citizens of Israel with no national, cultural, economic, religious... with no national sovereignty, no political voting rights, since they are not members of the Jewish nation. And how do the Jews accomplish this Jewish nation? Let's see. In the meantime, there should be a campaign to persuade the Arabs to leave voluntarily. They have to require to serve 3 years in a work corps, beginning at the age of 18, for 1 month every year, for 1 month every year and thereafter. Arabs, of course, are not allowed to study in the university without a declaration of their loyalty to the Jewish state. And to carry out this Jewish apartheid and eventual total Jewishness of Israel, the transfer of the huge bulk of Arabs from the country will enable the government each year to transfer many billions of funds previously spent on the Arab sector to the impoverished Jewish classes. Isn't that nice? And then if you look further, it indicates removal of the Arab will be a giant step towards the removal of both enemy and poverty. Isn't that nice? So Arabs cause poverty. Here Kahane quotes somebody in 1979, hero of the Israeli army, saying, don't put them on trucks or kill them, but we must create a situation for them which is not worth living here, but rather in Jordan or Saudi or any of the other Arab states. Then he indicates, reference shelf, Palestinian problem. Let's see. The problem in the Jew who stupidly equates the transfer of Arabs with Hitler genocide of the Jews as if we were advocating gas chambers or killing the Arabs in any form. The separation, as if the separation of the Jew and Arab will not save Arab and Jewish lives both. So according to Kahane, and of course the current Israeli policy of occupied Palestine, separation saves lives. I wonder how the Jewish people in America would think about this if we decided to separate them from the 97% of us who are not Jewish. Then he also indicates the horror of the Holocaust. It's dishonest to compare the horror of the Holocaust to him, because they're intellectual dwarves who equate it with any event that they cannot abide.